Lay's, Fanatics, Ritz Crackers, and Degree Underarm Deodorant. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580, standing with you in perilous times. If you've been impacted by the federal government shutdown or the discontinuation of SNAP benefits, you can find a food bank near you that's offering free groceries by going to lafoodbank.org or call 211. Additionally, LA County offers free meals at certain parks. There are meals and snacks for kids and seniors. Visit parks.lacounty.gov to find out which centers are offering which programs and to register in advance. And in addition to offering 2 free meals per day for all students, the LA Unified School District provides weekend meal kits for its students by request. The meal kits can be picked up on Fridays at grab-and-go locations. Please visit lausd.org/Cafe LA. That's lausd.org/CAFELA. We keep us safe. We keep us provided for. We keep us connected. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
First things first.
Things first, it's the DU General, Money P. I'ma put you up on the schedule, 6 to 9, 8 weekdays, not 2 and 7. Let's go. We got a lot to talk about, so much to pedal through. Unapologetically progressive. Tune to KBLA 1580 to get the mess. We're your ancestors' favorite radio station. First black on talk radio, left side of the nation. Me and Dominique Jaaye go way back. Tag Smiley making sure the station stays black. Discussing all the issues in our community. We're hosted black and brown and others find unity. So let's talk about it. Maybe we can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the movement. So we tune in. The first things first with the queen of Black Talk Radio, Dominique Jaaye. Go sis.
First things first.
KBLA Talk 1580. Good morning. Good morning and God bless. I'm Dominique Jaaye. The show is called First Things First, and my first thing today and every day is giving thanks, giving praises, and asking for blessings from God, asking for the blessings of the ancestors and the elders. And let's go. Let's turn it up. We have so much to talk about and so much to do. It is a wealth building Wednesday. That's what we call our Wednesdays around here, even though hopefully we're building our wealth every single day. That we put the spotlight on. Hopefully you will shop there, support them in various ways, or we give you resources to help your small business, and today is no exception. Hour 3 today, what is happening? Well, we found Pedro. Those of you who have been following this story here on KBLA, we had a town hall late last week, to bring together the Altadena Eaton Canyon fire victims, give them information about what's happening. Southern California Edison had committed in writing to be there and then backed out at the last minute. After they did that on false pretexts, they claimed in the media and in private communications that they were ready to come on KBLA and face the questions. Tavis Smiley accepted their self-invitation, saying that the top of the ticket, Mr. Pedro Pizarro, the CEO, president and CEO, would be the guest we would like to speak with and that he was welcome any time. Haven't been able to find him, searching for him for 4 days. Well, yesterday, Mr. Pizarro was found by one Tavis Smiley. Tavis will be here at 8 o'clock to tell us what happened. Interested to find out what Mr. Pizarro had to say when he contacted Mr. Smiley directly. So we will find out the outcome, at least for now, of the Southern California Edison dust-up and our quest to get real answers for the victims of the Altadena Eaton Canyon fire who deserve to have their questions addressed, not remotely through a Zoom where there's no back and forth, but face-to-face with real follow-up questions to get a strong understanding of what this company that has admitted to being the likely cause of their houses burning down, what they're offering, what they have to say, and what does the fine print say in their proposal. So we'll get the latest from Tavis Smiley. And once again, I want to thank everybody who emailed pedro.pizarro@sce.com, everyone who picked up the phone and called Southern California Edison at 626-302-2255 and then pressed 1. I think very much it was the KBLA delegation that helped us to find Mr. Pizarro. So that's good stuff. That's step 1. We will see what comes next when Mr. Smiley joins us at 8 o'clock. And then, of course, we'll open up the phone lines in the second half of the hour to hear your thoughts about what Mr. Pizarro said and how we ought to move. That 30-minute slot right there will feature caller amnesty. So if you have called this week already and you want to weigh in on the SCE controversy, you are welcome to do so. I'm delighted right now to have joining me for our Left Coast Hour an abolitionist born and raised in the 2nd District of LA County. He is an activist, graduate of Hampton University and Howard law offices since 2013. Attorney Jaaye Person Lynn, good morning.
Good morning, Dominique. How are you doing this morning?
I'm blessed. It's always great to see you. How are you?
Oh, man, always great to be seen, especially by you, and I'm doing pretty good this morning. Thanks for asking.
I love the way that you really do a deep dive on the stories that we talk about and bring us insights from a legal standpoint, because you just have a lot of experience in lots of different areas of criminal law as well as civil rights law. So there's always some insight. And then, of course, your advocacy around the Second Amendment and young black man is incredible. So I'm looking forward to hearing your take on several things that are going on around the left coast and the nation.
Yes, certainly, and I appreciate that. And there is so much going on, so much to talk about. I know it always seems like we only get about 10 minutes to talk as this hour just whisks by.
Yeah, that's right. Well, there's this weird story about some embezzlement at the LA Police Protective League, which is their so-called union. I call it a cartel because most unions will not cover up crimes for you, but the police associations do exactly that. This time, though, the cops are going after one of their own. What is happening?
And that is interesting as, he's actually being charged with collecting more money from the LA Police Protective League, which is a very, how you describe them, it can go from union to your description, and I think that, anywhere in between, people could argue for the accuracy of it. But to have one of their officials charged with taking funds from the organization and using them for their own good. I mean, part of it I think goes to the just the money making aspect of law enforcement that
Mm.
so many people overlook. Civil servants like that are supposed to be there, giving up what they could make in the private world to serve the people. That's the purpose of the job. And, it's pretty much every government job has a private counterpart that you can make more money in. But so often we see people going into law enforcement for the money making aspect of it, and sometimes these lives get pretty expensive, and you see people doing things to keep up these certain lives. You have the training day aspect of it, which this didn't rise to that level, but you also have, one of the most charges that law enforcement officers get charged with here in Los Angeles County is like workers' comp fraud, making money off of the system without earning it. And
Mm.
I think it's just to support a certain lifestyle that's really, if you have money independent of your service, like a Mike Lowry from the Bad Boys trilogy, then that's one thing. But law enforcement isn't where people go to get rich. But you see so many with the boats, the trucks, the weekend activities that cost, and they have to maintain that, and that's what I'd actually heard a couple law enforcement officers talking about this at a court, and didn't realize what they were talking about until I was made aware of the story. I'm like, wow, people are quite aware of what's going on. And most officers, seem to do their job and, take their paychecks, but you have others that are always looking for ways to make more money, and that's what it looks like, is being charged here
I mean,
as
he's basically charged with stealing from the police union, the police association, which seems like a
yeah.
situation. It's 100,000. The guy's name is Andre Villalobos. They're charging him with 29 felony counts of grand theft and one count of commercial burglary.
Yeah.
Is that them throwing the book at him? He's being held on 1.6 million bail.
Yes, well, that is ultimately them throwing the book at him, and them wanting to make sure that he, stays in to fight. But the way these work, typically the most um, you can get, like if you're charged with several offenses, you can get the primary offense, whatever that is, and the max, and then one third the midterm. So, oftentimes on some of these offenses, the grand thefts, the max will be 3 years and the midterm will be 2 years. So one third that 2 years is 8 months. Now it could be done consecutively, but it's not like he would get, up to 3 years on each 29 count.
Right, but they're saying so. If it was consecutive, that's why they're saying he faces a maximum sentence of 26 years and 8 months. That's if they stack them up one after the other instead of letting him um, serve concurrently. So that means he could do at minimum like 8 months.
Um, well, that's if he was to plead to like, one count at the low term and then serve half the low term being 16 months, I believe, being doing halftime. But what I was pointing out is that in California, there's certain circumstances where you have separate incidences and separate victims where you can receive just a full consecutive sentence. But what I'm saying is in those like 29 count indictments or complaints, um, if each count carries 3 years max, then you couldn't get, that would be like 87 total years, right? But that's how you get to that 26
I
is that,
gotcha.
well, one third that midterm and just doing that 20, so 3 years on the first one and then 8 months times 20.
Department has been covering up domestic abuse charges against, or allegations, I guess, against officers. The state law required them to start reporting all domestic violence of their officers. That law was passed in 2021. Any serious misconduct that could stop them from doing police work. And this sergeant is saying that they didn't start actually doing that until a year after that domestic violence bill, Senate Bill 2, passed, which added domestic violence to serious misconduct categories. And if I'm remembering correctly, the LAPD has a history of underreporting domestic violence within its own ranks. What do you make of this?
I just make of it that it's always going to be difficult having people police themselves, especially in a world like this one. And one thing I do want to point out, all of these allegations that we're discussing are allegations, and even law enforcement officers who are charged by their own departments or their own law enforcement attorney agencies like the district attorney's office, they still have a right to a fair and public trial. So we do want to acknowledge that. But it just seems to me that in having them police themselves, it's always that opportunity to overlook things, to want to sacrifice the department looking bad for covering up for one person. It is nearly a 10,000 person department, and so one story of an LAPD officer getting, reported for domestic violence, or, 10, 12, 100 stories, is going to look bad on the overall department. So I understand, them wanting to cover up, but, laws are there for a reason. And if that's what was going on when the law was in place, you can only imagine what was going on when there was no specific law to address that issue.
Yeah, it's a good point. And the fact that we even need that law is pretty telling, too. I also think it's interesting how, in the case of the police association and that $100,000 theft, how quickly they fired the guy, even though he's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, and he should receive a regular trial like everybody else. Because anytime someone in the police department, an employee, is charged, indicted for murdering a citizen, a black citizen, or brutalizing them, we see that they get put on administrative leave with pay, and it typically takes a long time for them to be dismissed from the job. So it's interesting to note how quickly they have sacked this guy, Andre Villalobos, even though, he has yet to be convicted of embezzling that $100K.
Yeah, well, it's, why they're firing him, but also I believe it was the so he was in the LA Police Protective League, but the Baldwin Park Police Department, so not the LAPD. So
Yeah.
maybe it would be a little different if it was the LAPD.
Okay. Yeah, maybe. It just goes to show you, though, that they do have discretion in these matters. Attorney Jaaye Person Lynn is my guest, and you're invited in at 800-920-1580. We are unbossed, unbothered, unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique Jaaye when we come forward.
Hey, KBLA 1580 delegation, your health matters to us. We know that information is power, especially when it comes to prevention and treatment. That's why we're proud to introduce the brand new KBLA Health and Wellness Hub. This online space is built just for you, connecting our community to trusted health resources, culturally relevant care, and even access to diverse clinical trials and emerging therapies. Whether you're looking for information on common conditions, mental health support, or just want to stay on top of your wellness journey, we got you. And the best part, it's all on our website at KBLA1580.com. Accessible, empowering, community-focused. So just go to KBLA1580.com and click on the Health and Wellness Hub icon, because knowledge is power and your health is everything. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
If you've been diagnosed with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, this is what it sounds like to be 1,000,000 miles away. Imagine being 1,000,000 miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy. With Tremfya, clearer skin is possible. In clinical trials, at least 70% of patients saw at least 90% clearer skin at 16 weeks. Results may vary. Tremfya is also indicated for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Call 1-800-526-7736 or visit tremfya.com.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm Zoe Williams, a.k.a. the Voice of Reason, encouraging you to join me weekdays from 7 to 9 p.m. for the world's most intriguing relationship radio roundtable. Every night, I facilitate and encourage our loyal listeners to participate in the most engaging relationship discussions you'll hear anywhere. So make it a point to rendezvous with me, Zoe Williams, the Voice of Reason, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. Trust me, your relationship...
Your favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DePrima right now.
Right now, we're also back to Jaaye Person Lynn and you at 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. I guess we're about to get hit hard with some rain. It's supposed to start today or tomorrow, most likely tomorrow. And they're saying a lot of rain for many days. So flooding and all that stuff. You know, people make fun of us on the East Coast for reporting on rain like it's a disaster, but it can be around here.
It really can be. The roads get, all that oil from being dry for so long. So that first real significant rain makes those roads can make those roads very dangerous for people. So I want people to be careful. But it is such a blessing when we get rain here.
Yeah.
Driving up to Wayside or Bakersfield or some of those northern areas, I get to pass by reserves, and sometimes they get noticeably lower. So it's great to see that we get rain. It's not the most fun time, but we haven't had any significant rain in a while. So it's great to get it. And, if that means you need to stay in the house, I believe that is what God wants for us sometimes. When it
I think it did. I shouldn't have got my hair done. What was I thinking? But, yeah, it's also...
Right. Scorpio season, you should have your hair done all season long.
Yes, sir. Wait, are you a Scorpion? When is your B-Day?
Very much so, November 18th.
Oh, Lord. Okay, yep. I should have known. Well, happy B-Day, HBD in advance. It's also going to be, yeah, I mean, Scorpios, now it all makes sense. Y'all be collecting knowledge and just like keeping it. knowledge hoarders are scorpions. um,
That's what we do, but we use it. We use our knowledge as well. It's just very strategic.
yeah, no doubt. Okay, I get it now. So, Jaaye, we're also looking at some pretty heavy wind, and to your point, it may mean staying in the house. I already think we should be staying away from the airports because even though they're moving to end the government shutdown with no net real benefit for Democrats, it's going to take several days to a week before they unsnarl the airports. So between this rain and what's happening at the airport, you might want to keep your butt at home.
Yes, you must.
They said maybe
You should.
even thunder on Friday. Okay.
Yeah, and, that's all right. It's great time to get in and watch some movies.
Yeah.
They're going to take in Mo Better Blues when the kids aren't here.
Well, I'm supposed to be helping to pay tribute to Kent Wong, the great labor teacher and organizer, on Saturday at UCLA, and I think it's outside, so it's going to be time for umbrellas and hats. Actually, of community organizers.
Yes, and the real organizers and activists can organize and activate under any weather, so
There you
should
go.
have a nice turnout.
There you go. I don't know if you play the lottery and stuff. The Mega Millions jackpot is about to go over 1 billion. It's the oligarch Mega Millions. It's only the 8th time in the history of the game that it's gone almost to 1 billion, and so it's going to be on again, I guess, when they draw, I think, later this week. So I don't know if you buy tickets, but you got to play to win.
Yeah, and it's, usually I don't, but it's every once in a while I'll be at the gas station and I'll look up and it'll be like, 500 million, 700, 800. It's like a couple bucks. You just throw it at it and see what happens, but it's not something that I regularly participate in.
Yeah, I'm not a big gambler. I feel like I've been lucky in life, so I don't feel like I'm probably going to win Mega Millions. But hey, $5 for 1 billion might be worth it. They draw on Friday. It's 965 million, which is pretty darn close to 1 billion.
Yeah, that's pretty close. And just to think about how much money that is, like if you made $100,000 a month, it would still take you like 9 lifetimes to to make that amount of money.
Wow,
So it's quite
100,000 a
lot of
month.
money.
Whoa, that means you could spend 100,000 a month. Well, I don't even really think there should be billionaires, but so if I win, I'll be giving money away. Heads up to all my nonprofits. We got news, traffic, and sports, and then more with attorney Jaaye Person Lynn and you on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. President Trump says the U.S. needs the H-1B visa program to bring in skilled workers. He shared his thoughts in a Fox News interview.
When
we have plenty of talented people here.
No, you don't. You don't have certain talents, and people have to learn.
Trump pointed to a Georgia battery plant raid where hundreds of South Koreans were deported, saying, quote, "You're going to need those workers," end quote. A black man in Maryland was arrested twice in under 24 hours for attacking the same woman. Police say 40-year-old James Bowman assaulted her again just hours after being released on domestic violence charges. He's now being held without bond. And rapper Westside Gunn says WWE kicked him out of a Monday Night Raw event and sent a cease and desist over using wrestling images on album covers. Gunn says he spent over $5,000 on tickets and travel and now plans to focus on his own wrestling league, Fourth Rope. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Families have been loving LifeSource Whole House Water Systems for over 40 years. And now when you buy LifeSource, you can save up to $1,000 with the no sales tax special. Call 800-WATER-99 or visit lifesourcewater.com. And soon, warranty limitations apply.
This is the KBLA.
They're 5-0 at home. At 8-3, the Lakers have the third best record in the Western Conference. 6:30 tip-off tonight on ESPN. The Clippers are at home tonight against Denver. The Clippers are trying to snap a 5-game losing streak. USC women's basketball star Juju Watkins is using some of her NIL money to invest in Boston Legacy FC, a new franchise in the National Women's Soccer League, a pro league with 16 teams around the U.S. Watkins, a junior from Compton, is sitting out this season to recover from a knee injury. Watkins' NIL revenue reportedly is $765,000. She has endorsement deals with Nike, United Airlines, Fanatics, Ritz Crackers, and Degree Underarm Deodorant. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Are you facing an unexpected financial emergency? You need WeFixMoney.com. WeFixMoney.com can help you get up to $5,000 fast. WeFixMoney.com is free to use, available 24/7, and has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. Go to the name you trust, WeFixMoney.com. If you need emergency cash, up to $5,000 for bills or anything else, type WeFixMoney.com directly in your browser. That's WeFixMoney.com.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone, and should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your Senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
Lena Bloom for the Bail Project. Imagine you're stuck in a jail cell and you can't afford bail and someone offers you a way out. Just plead guilty and you can go home and kiss your kids goodnight. What do you do? What thousands have. You plead guilty whether you are or not. Cash bail makes poverty a crime. That's why the Bail Project helps those who can't afford it while fighting to end cash bail. Because freedom should be free. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. If you need help getting your resume in order, finding job training, or landing a job, we've got 3 great options for you. First, the City of Los Angeles has WorkSource centers across the area offering free job support. The California Workforce Development Board can help you with everything from GED prep to vocational training at no cost to you. On the federal level, the Department of Labor's American Job Centers offer a full range of services for job seekers and businesses alike. Visit careeronestop.org or for more info, or call 213-744-7300. All these services are free to help you get your next job. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
An official message from Medicare.
Medicare plans change from one year to the next. And this year, it's important for you to review your current coverage and compare all your options during Medicare open enrollment. Compare health plans, drug coverage, and costs. See if you can save some money, and don't forget to make sure your drugs are covered. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Visit Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. Trade stocks and ETFs, options, futures, and crypto all on one platform. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move. All investments involve risk, including loss of principal. Options, futures, and crypto trading carry significant risk and may not suit all investors. Securities offered through Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Futures trading is offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Crypto offered through Robinhood Crypto LLC, NMLS ID 1702840, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Portfolio management offered by Robinhood Strategies, an SEC registered advisor.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DePrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yes, indeed. We thank you. And I'm here with attorney Jaaye Person Lynn. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to TikTok Live. We stream every day on YouTube Live. And we also stream on Facebook now. So we're all over the place. But I never do YouTube. TikTok Live for some reason. So I'm going to do that, and I'm trying to figure it out because I don't do it enough. So anyway, lots to talk about, Jaaye Person Lynn. But you wanted to make one more point. I guess something I missed in that story about the Baldwin Park officer who was, I guess, indicted for taking all this money, 29 felony counts, which is pretty severe, and could face up to, I think, 29 years is what we saw.
Yes, yeah. Well, I think it said 26 years if you aggregate it all together. But, usually in cases like that, it would be led down to something. And just so people do understand why there would be 29 counts, there were probably that many withdrawals from the union to his personal account.
Right.
And these things are all, it's all paper trail. It's not like he was taking out cash.
But he took out $100,000 and he was only president for about a year, so he was moving fast.
Yeah, it was all
allegedly
what it looks like between 22 and 24. So he was, getting in there. He was elected treasurer and probably had a plan going in.
Yeah.
Like, this can happen. Oh, okay. Well, let's see. Or making up excuses why he needed to get paid for something extra.
Yeah.
But also, I wanted to point out he has throw in, they flash and make a big bang, smoke, and cops usually use that in a situation where they're looking for someone and trying to distort their ability to see and view. But it just goes to show, man, with a lot of these law enforcement officers, they have in their personal lives at their homes, not at the station, high-level weaponry and artillery. And so it's, but they're rarely going to get, raided, right? Like if they raided law enforcement officers' homes, I'm sure they'd find a whole lot of
arsenals. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like the ghost guns and stuff? Is that what you mean by built weapons? So if the average citizen gets busted with that, it's going to be a whole problem, right?
Yeah, but it's going to be rare that they're going to be investigated or looked at all. And then sometimes if they are going to be investigated, at least they can even get the heads up. But the point is, in other states, these things may be legal, and LAPD, historically recruits in the South.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You're coming with guys that come from places where you can, have a tank if you want. And then they come here, they're not going to give up that affinity for the Second Amendment. And my point in saying that is that there's these people that enforce rules that they don't live by. And I think that's what the largest problem in law enforcement is today. But specifically on the issue of the Second Amendment, those are the people that are really going to have the artillery that we're saying we don't want citizens to have. But we're not really investigating law enforcement. But so often when one does get raided on a separate issue, there's findings of illegal weapons in their homes.
Wow. Yeah, that is really interesting, especially considering how many officers from various departments seem to get into trouble when they're off duty.
Yes,
The
very
just
much so.
the Justice Department is investigating UC Berkeley now after protesters were clashing with security outside of a Turning Point USA event. Now, keep in mind, this is Charlie Kirk's organization, now led by his wife, Erica Kirk. Anti-fascist protesters were outside their event at Berkeley. 4 people were arrested, and it was part of their, I guess, tribute that they've been doing, tribute tour to Charlie Kirk, who, of course, was shot and killed at Utah Valley University. Now the DOJ is saying they're going to investigate security at UC Berkeley and the city of Berkeley. And so I don't know, maybe I'm missing something, Jaaye, but it seems to me that it's like this guy is an elected official or some kind of sacred figure where he is getting the full force of the DOJ just for even challenging his organization. That is very.
It tracks with the current administration, and Berkeley is certainly like the um, liberal bastion in so many ways, from the hippiness of the city to the historical protests and demonstrations from the students. And so this is more so, I think, the administration going after just those that they see as prime liberal targets to say that, like, hey, they're the real discriminators. They're diminishing First Amendment, not us. We're here for free speech. And so that's what it seems like, because it's like, what are you? It was the Antifa people, I believe, that were arrested, not like the Turning Point USA people.
Antifa,
And
which
then
is,
one
I mean,
was for a fight.
but Antifa just means anti-fascist. It's not even an organization.
Anti-fascist,
It means
yeah.
you're not. But this administration acts like it's an actual organization where you can sign up and be a member. All it means is anti-fascist, and I think that the fact that anti-fascist protesters are going up against a group, which is not a government group. It is a private organization called Turning Point, started by Charlie Kirk, that does put forth some very fascist-y rhetoric. That protesting them will trigger a Department of Justice investigation. Meanwhile, the DOJ has shut down investigations around anything to do with anti-blackness. Have at it. There's no more civil rights enforcement within the Department of Justice, except for the rights of white farmers in South Africa and Turning Point celebrators. I mean, it just feels very slippery slope, like, when it comes to basically the government protecting the civil rights of people who are violating the civil rights of others.
Yes, and those civil rights. It all comes down to like a certain standard of what the people in power believe that you are owed or you're worthy of.
Right.
And so that's what what we're seeing right now is these are the rights that is important to this administration, and they're going all out to protect those rights. We just have to understand what side we fall on in dealing with this administration, because there will be ways and different strategies, but going head up against this administration, I don't think is strategy to take. They're very resolute in their ways. The most you can do is document and wait for another administration to maybe investigate what the previous administration has done. But right now, we're just gonna and should expect more of the same over the time of this administration's occupants.
Yeah, but another thing this DOJ is doing is they're going after people who are protest aisle here, and they are, I mean, completely targeting people only based on their philosophies. And now they're talking about denying benefits for people based on their party affiliation. To me, that seems unconstitutional. Um, do fascists have civil rights in the sense of the right to, propagate their philosophy? Do they have a right to impinge on your civil rights? I know they have a right to walk around in their KKK hoods and such. But at what point does protesting that become a problem? And this is like turning the whole UC Berkeley, the ongoing UC Berkeley conversation on its head, because it was usually Ben Shapiro or whoever going there to speak and people protesting that. And then these right-wing protesters saying, well, they have the right to speak. Now it's gone to weaponizing the government to enforce the fascist right to speak, but shut down the people that oppose fascism and oppose anti-blackness, shutting down their right to speak. So it's one-way freedom of speech is what it is.
Yes, certainly. And, that's what this administration seems to want to put out, is that it is their rhetoric, their position that is prominent. And if you go against that, then you have to do it in a way that won't get you prosecuted or investigated. But ultimately, it is constitutional for people to protest things that they don't like, and that's why it is constitutional for Klan marches to take place. And that's what we have to accept, because the second we start saying it's only for our side, then we're just like the people that we're criticizing now and what they're doing.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the sad thing. We have to defend their rights, and we do, but they don't defend our rights. They have a one-way First Amendment, and we're seeing it, and this is just the beginning, I feel. The Trump administration has already put us on notice. They're going after Black Lives Matter. They're going after Antifa, which they want to pretend is an organization and not a concept. How do you prosecute a concept? It's like the war on terror, right? It's organizations, okay, still unconstitutional in my view, but going after a concept means you can just call anybody a thing, right? And strip them of the rights. Oh, you're Antifa. That's not an organization, it's a concept. It's like we're going to be targeting existentialism. It's not an organization, it's a philosophy.
So it's very much McCarthyistic. As you look back in history at that time and what was going on, and you look at what's going on now, there's nothing new under the sun. But it just makes it so broad and so open for people to say, hey, you said this, you posted this, you must be Antifa, so now we have to dig deeply into your life. And, we found this or we found that, and now you're being prosecuted for this or that. And that's the hope of the investigation, is that it leads to some kind of prosecution in hopes that people that see or it's just about being aware of that, and how you respond to that is what you should be aware of, because the reality is right now it's going to be some time before those of us who do believe in those broad constitutional rights, and they applying to everyone, even those that we disagree with, it's going to be at least, a couple more years before an administration that accepts that and promotes that comes in. But we also have to remember, like, as far as black people, we've never really had an administration, of course the Obama administration is the closest we could get, but overall there's never been an administration that promoted or put forth those fighting against the anti-blackness that we face specifically, and not like the broader racism, the broader white supremacy, but speaking specifically on the anti-blackness, which means for most of us we've lived in a fascist state in one way or another our entire lives and our entire existence in this nation.
Wow. Attorney Jaaye Person Lynn is my guest. You're invited in. You can call me at 800-920-1580 or weigh in on YouTube, TikTok. We're on Facebook right now. We're at KBLA 1580, and mine is DiPrima Radio, DIPRIMA, and then radio. We're unapologetically progressive, KBLA Talk 1580.
A safe place to go loud. A great place for progressive politics. KBLA Talk 1580.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
It's Cybersecurity Awareness Month. LifeLock is here with tips to help protect your identity. Use strong passwords, set up multi-factor authentication, report scams, and update your software. And for comprehensive identity protection, LifeLock is your best choice. LifeLock alerts you to suspicious uses of your personal information and fixes identity theft, guaranteed, or your money back. Start your protection today with a 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data % your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where everybody is somebody and nobody is a stranger. You belong here.
Man, time flies when you're on the radio. I'm curious, Attorney Jaaye Person Lynn, this really interesting article in the LA Times about the oil fields at Baldwin Hills, which of course are an eyesore to a beautiful neighborhood and also a glorious park, a huge park, the Kenneth Hahn Park and the Park to Playa Trail, the Baldwin Hills Scenic Overlook, which I know Mark Ridley Thomas had a lot to do with. Didn't know Kevin Murray was a big part of making that happen as well. Now it seems like those oil fields are going to be forced to shut down, partly thank you, Assemblymember Isaac Bryan, who was able to pass legislation, assuming it holds up in court, that's going to start fining these folks $10,000. I think it's $10,000 a month if they have low production oil wells that are not shut down and capped safely. So this is going to start winding down, and the question is, what should happen to this beautiful chunk of land in prime Los Angeles? Should it become housing? Should it be an extension of the surrounding parks? Or, to create more open space in LA? Or is there another plan, some kind of business plan that should happen? And there's all these questions about who owns what parcels and what the permitting and other challenges are. But that's going to be a huge decision for a lot of folks, especially Black people who do own homes. A lot of them are right around that area. So we're talking about, is it upscale housing? Is it going to be, low income or homeless housing? What are your thoughts on which way this could and should go?
Well, it is interesting because I've never known life here, and my whole life outside of my education was spent here in Los Angeles. And seeing those oil fields, going to Windsor Hills Elementary School, you can kind of overlook them. There at your at the gate on the western side, and so it would be tough for me to see housing there because then we're talking further roads, and then it's my understanding, it's going to take some time to even get that land ready for, something other than being an oil field.
Right.
As you don't want to just throw some condominiums on top of it, and there'd be some kind of big fire or something else because the oil seam just wasn't capped right or something like that. So ultimately, I would like to see maybe an extension of Kenneth on and just keep it something like that because those oil fields, that would be an interesting place to put housing.
It's hazardous. They're going to have to do some mitigation. We're talking about the land right around La Cienega Boulevard, like between Inglewood and say, Obama Boulevard. Fancy, little mansion-type things down that would be gentrification on steroids, I think.
Yeah, it would, and we would not be able to expect to see many of our people going into that area because the word is out now. Everybody knows that's prime real estate here in Los Angeles. You can live there, never have to get on the freeway to go to the beach, to go downtown, Disneyland, wherever you want to go. Well, yeah, maybe Disneyland, but anything here in Los Angeles, you don't have to get on the freeway when you live in that area.
And it's close to everything. And you're right, they have discovered it. Folks are moving in. Michael points out this is 1,000 acres, and we are in a housing crunch. So it may be that it ends up being pressured into housing. But I think I agree with you, Jaaye, that we should get rid of all that pollution, mitigate the oil fields at their expense, and keep it parkland.
That sounds good to me. And as you can hear, the main person that has made it wide awake this morning. It was Veterans Day yesterday, so we spent a good portion of the day at the park spending energy, and then we went and spent time with his favorite veteran, his grandfather, Dr. Jaaye Person Lynn. And even though we're only 2 miles apart, during that ride, he found his way to sleep for the night.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. So you're going to have he's going to, our youngest contributor is going to be off the hook today. Well, Jaaye Person Lynn, attorney Person Lynn, thank you so much for joining us this morning. You can find him at Lincoln Lawyer LA on all the social medias. Really appreciate you.
Thank you, Dominique. Have a great day.
That's what you call multitasking. News, traffic, and sports. And then it's time for Wealth Building Wednesday, only right here.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. President Trump says the U.S. needs the H-1B visa program